Welcome to the latest edition of the Tell Like It Is radio podcast. I'm your host, Ro Clark, and today I want to discuss what's next for the Los Angeles Clippers. So the LA Clippers lost their Game 7 against the Utah Jazz a couple nights ago. They lost 104-91. And it was a series on where I actually had the Clippers winning on paper. But after I seen ISO Joe close out a couple games for the Utah Jazz, and after I seen ISO Joe look like he was just unguardable, coming off the bench for the Utah Jazz, dropping 20 plus, closing out games, hitting big shots, I'm just like, wow. So in my mind, I'm just like, the Clippers are in trouble. And then once they lost Blake, I just felt like that changed the momentum. That changed the outcome of the series. But I was never, ever going against CP3. And I feel like a lot of people should ease up on CP3. Because I feel like a lot of us forget what type of point guard, what type of player, what type of floor general this guy really is. Now when Goldberg, when he got hurt in the first game, I'm like, all right, well, They lost one of their anchors. They lost their centerpiece. That's how they gonna react, man. The Utah, they showed up every game in the series, so I wasn't surprised with this outcome. And I'm not saying the Clippers took them for granted, but Utah were looking like a solid team, and the players on that bench, they just knew that it was the next man up. And I just happened to be CP3, but at the same time, they look great. They look good as a team collectively. And let's not forget, the Clippers and the Utah Jazz, their records were pretty much similar this season. About 50 wins, 50-something wins, 30-something losses. So they're not no scrub at all. I think we were just surprised on the uprising of this team. And the uprising of Gordon Hayward. And the uprising of Derek Favors. So maybe if Blake didn't go down in the third or the fourth game, Game 7 would have went a different way. The Clippers would have pulled it out. Like I said, Blake's an extra 20 points on any given night. Chris Paul didn't have a good Game 7. I mean, in my eyes, he didn't look like the average Chris Paul, the Chris Paul that I know. Especially in the fourth or in the second half, I saw Chris Paul, when it was coming down the stretch, he gave up a few shots. He gave the ball up. He gave the ball to Jamal Crawford. Jamal Crawford hitting threes, pulling up, dancing on dudes, doing what Jamal Crawford does. He did twist his ankle in the third quarter. I'm not trying to make excuses for this man, but I didn't like the CP3 that I saw in that Game 7 in the second half, or the Game 7 period. But that I'm not going to discredit this man at all. Now, everyone is talking about somebody got to go. I say the same thing. So, would you get rid of Doc Rivers? Would you get rid of Doc Rivers? Is it time for Doc Rivers to give up his title, step down of he called the shots in the front office. I'm going to say general manager, and he's the head coach. My answer is no. I wouldn't necessarily ask him to step down as my GM. I feel like he's done a hell of a job with bringing players in and trying to put players around CP3. Things just didn't work out. But maybe the Clippers do need to hear a new voice come in that locker room. Somebody else sitting on the end of the bench, directing traffic, calling plays, because we all know that Doc Rivers a lot of his play calling has been, maybe iffy. A lot of his substitutions, but he's coaching with the players that he have. That's up to the front office to get the players that they need around CP3 on his team in order for Doc to coach. Players play, coaches coach. But at the same time, players are going to perform depending on how they feel about that coach and how much respect that they have for that coach. And I just think that Doc Rivers is a hell of a coach. He's a hell of a coach. But maybe it is time for a new face, new voice. And let's keep Doc there. And let's keep Doc with the Clippers, but just, making decisions for the front office and for the team. Blake Griffin, player option. CP3, player option. JJ Redick's a free agent. Bahamute, the defender, he's a free agent. And Maurice Spates, he's a free agent. Now, Clippers have a lot of money, but at the same time, you're losing 2 players. So, does CP3 deserve the max contract? Damn right. Does Blake Griffin deserve the max contract? I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't even say I don't know. I'm going to say no. And I say that because it's just always been an issue with Blake Griffin as well. Yeah, he developed an offensive game. It could be better. His jump shots still look like it's a delayed release. He drives to the basket every time he goes left or right with his head down, not looking at the rim, not looking or paying attention to where he's going, throwing up a crazy shot at the rim, hoping it goes in or hoping he gets fouled. I just don't think he's worth the money. I wouldn't give him the money. Then I'm not going to say they wasted the money on DJ, but he's a better player to have than Blake Griffin defensively. Offensively, that will come. And I seen DJ throw up a couple hook shots. I seen DJ not looking too bad and shooting free throws this series. But Blake Griffin isn't the answer for CP3. And yeah, I still think DJ's overpaid. I just wouldn't give Blake Griffin, a $200 million contract. CP3 deserves it. Blake Griffin, no. And also, I never seen Blake hit a big bucket down the stretch. He's not a closeout guy. So if I'm giving up 200 plus, I need you to do everything for me. Go above and beyond. And Blake he can't do that. I don't see him doing that. He's still learning the game. Let's not forget, Blake just started to develop an offensive game a couple years ago. A jump shot, putting the ball down, in and out. I just don't understand why the Clippers didn't make a trade or a move to bring Carmelo here, to bring Carmelo to the Clippers. I mean, maybe they could have gave up an Austin Rivers, Bahamute, and whoever, somebody else off the bench, or maybe they could have just traded Blake Griffin. A lot of people probably don't agree. But maybe it was time to give up Blake Griffin because I feel like, or I know for a fact that Carmelo would complement CP3 way better than Blake has done in his career. I don't need to go there and highlight what Melo can do. We all seen the guy play since Syracuse, since Oak Hill. He's a hell of a shooter, hell of a scorer. Something that Blake's not giving you. And he's better on the ISO than Blake is. And he can knock down that open. He's another perimeter threat offensively. And on a bright side of this trade, Blake goes to New York. Blake's number one option because he's not the number one option in LA. But will he stay in New York? Hell no. But at the same time, Clippers have more ammo offensively, and that's just where I'm getting at. So I would have made that trade. Maybe they can sign Blake and end up making the trade. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. But I would keep CP3. I would get a new coach, keep Doc Rivers in my front office, and I would keep DJ. Just the fact that he contests shots, and he's a great defender. Let's work on his low post move. Let's call in Olajuwon, Tim Duncan, someone that can help him offensively this season. And a lot of people who's still blaming CP3. Oh, he never been to a conference finals, never been to an NBA finals. Right. I know that. We all know that. But CP3 isn't the reason that the Clippers lost. And you'll be a damn fool. You'll be a damn fool to give up CP3. Every team in the league will take CP3 right now. Any team in the league will take CP3 right now. Let's just try getting some players around him. And what are the Clippers missing? Well, take notes. Take notes. Match up. Look at the roster of all the successful teams. They have great defenders, athletic bigs, perimeter shooters, athletic players, period. But if you give CP3 another defender, a lot of shooters, and an athletic wingman, I like their chances. I like their chances a lot. Or should Chris Paul ring chase wherever he go? He's not going to Cleveland. I wouldn't give up Kyrie for Chris Paul. I don't think he would go to San Antonio. Damn sure not going to Golden State. Damn sure not going to the Boston Celtics. I'm not giving up IT for Chris Paul. So stay in LA. Figure some things out. Put a team around his man. Let's remove Doc Rivers of his coaching duties. Leave him in the front office. Let's try to explore Blake Griffin trade. Let's give this team one more year. Let's give him one more year. And with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you guys take it easy on Chris Paul a little bit. And thank you guys for listening, subscribing, sharing, and supporting. Please be sure to visit bakerhoops.com. Please be sure to visit rockoutsd.com. And please be sure to send any emails, questions, comments, concerns to tell it how it is, radiopc at gmail.com. Be blessed.